So we'll have a quick recap. Okay. We started working with database. What is database? What is DBMS? What is RDBMS? And how to create database and how to drop database. We have seen. And then what are tables? How to create tables. So before getting into tables, we understood what are the data types: integer, tiny int, small int, big int, int, float, double, varchar, text, char, nchar, nvarchar, ntext, and many data types, date time data types we have seen. And then we created tables. We started loading the data. That is what insert data, modifying data, update data. If you don't want, we can remove the data, that is delete data. If you want to add a column or remove a column or change the data type of a column or adding a constraint or removing a constraint, we use alter command, alter table. Then if you want to remove data completely without any identity, then we use truncate instead of delete. These support DDL, DML commands. And if you want to read the data from table, we have written select statement. And if you want to read a particular columns from the table, you can write so-and-so columns in the select statement from table name. And later, if you want to filter, we write where. If you want to do the group across the table or across the table, we use group by. And again, you can find the duplicates or you can apply the filters on the aggregate functions, that is with the help of having. And if you want to sort the data on any column, use order by. This is about select query. And then we have seen built-in functions. We have seen normalization. We have seen constraints, primary key, unique, not null, check, default, foreign key, in foreign key, one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, and many-to-many relationship. One-to-one relationship is easy. A table associated with other table where each row is associated with each row in other table. Whereas one-to-many relationship, one row in a table relates with many rows in other table, or many rows in a table associates with one row in other table. Coming to many-to-many relationship, it's not between, though it is between two tables, but the implementation cannot be done between two tables. We require a bridge table that is called as a linking table or also associate table, which establishes bridge between two tables. This is many-to-many relationship. Primary key, which does not allow null values, which does not allow duplicates, and it can be created on a single column. It is called as a primary key. If it is created on multiple columns, then it is called as a composite key. Unique, the name only says it does not allow duplicates in that particular column, but it allows any value for one time, including null value it will allow. Whereas primary key, it will not allow null value. Not null, if you define for a column, that column does not allow null values. Check, it's a condition on a column which you can give the range of values possible in that particular column. Default, if you are not getting any value from the user, then we can default that column by specifying default constraint, default of give your value. So that in case of user input is there, it will take the user input. If in case user input is not there, it will consider the default value, whatever you define. This is about constraints. Normalization, normal form 1, 2, 3 we have seen. Normal form 1, multi-value rows is not multi-values in a column. It will not allow. So ensure that each column is having a single value so that you can apply filters also. And next, partial dependency, normal form 2, partial dependency is not allowed. Every non-key column should depend on primary key column. That is partial dependency. And finally, normal form 3, which says transitive dependency and also redundancy, reduce redundancy. So transitive dependency means a non-key column tries to depend on other non-key column where normal form 3 does not allow. So divide the table or organize the table in such a way that every non-key column depends on primary key column, and with this you will not have duplicate data in the table. Okay, this is about normalization. Then we have seen built-in functions, string functions, aggregate functions, mathematical functions, and one more data type functions. After this, we have seen how to write group by. We discussed about thumb rules. If there is aggregate function along with normal column in the select statement, group by is compulsory. And we can use having only when we use group by. We cannot use having when there is no group by. Agree? Till now clear? Any questions? I'm just giving a quick recap.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank
Are
you.
able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Everyone able to follow?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
These are all things which you have known, which you have learned, which you have written exams. Okay. So these still group by having we discussed. Next we started with which topic? After group by? Don't know. We discussed on joins. So joins are used to combine the. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Joins are used to combine the data from multiple tables. When you have a requirement to get the data from multiple tables, joins are used. When you say joins, there are multiple types: cross join, inner join, outer join. Outer join is further divided into left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. So cross join. Cross join is a cross product or Cartesian product of the tables which are involved in this, and there is no any condition for this. Just table cross join other table or table comma table. Table name comma table name. So this is going to give the multiplication count of the total data from both the tables or all the tables involved. It is going to get all the possible combinations of each and every row from one table to each and every row in other table. And which we don't use this, we go for inner join. Inner join says only matched data it is going to get based on the condition. So in order to do inner join, there should be a common column between the two tables, and that common column ideally is a primary key column and foreign key column. Ideally, I'm saying. Okay. So there are two tables and we join based on the primary key column and the foreign key column. And the output will be only matching data between these two tables. That is inner join. Then coming to the outer join. Outer join, whenever we say it is out of the join condition, means we are going to get the data out of the join condition. So then we get a question whether it is from the left table or right table. That's why joins are classified as left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. Left outer join says get the total data from left table, only matching data from right table. For non-matching data in the right table, fill with nulls. Okay, so you are going to give preference to the left table here, plus inner join from the right table, and wherever it is not joining, fill with nulls. Whenever you go to right outer join, the preference is given to the right table. So total data from right table, matching data from left table. For non-matching data in the right table, fill with nulls on the left side. That is what preference to the right. Full outer join. Here there is no preference. You are going to get total data from left table, total data from right table. Wherever it matches between matches, wherever does not matches between left side and right side, it is going to fill with nulls. So this is equal to left join plus right join is full join, not cross join. Okay. Left join plus right join is full join. Then we have discussed about self join, a table joining to itself. And we have written multiple queries till now. During the self join explanation, we have written queries, and I have asked a couple of you to explain that topic. And even recently, day before, we have written self join to see managers getting more salary. Sorry, employees getting more salary than manager. Employees who joined before manager. This is a question given to you in the exam. Who joined before the manager? And who is employee getting more salary than manager? This we have seen just day before, I guess. You agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is about self join. So after joins, we discussed about subqueries. A query inside other query is called as a subquery, and the subqueries are classified into two types: nested subquery and correlated subquery. Subquery what is that? Nested subquery inner query executes first and it is going to give the output to the outer query. This is called as subquery, nested subquery. Correlated subquery, outer query executes first. It is going to give the data to inner query and compare with the inner query data. This is called as correlated subquery. All the correlated subqueries will have a condition with the outer query within the inner query. That is a correlated subquery. Okay. And we have seen the blind rule to populate the nth highest salary or nth least salary. We have seen multiple ways to achieve this result, but this thumb rule helps you to blindly get the result. No need of thinking much. Okay. So after that, we started discussing views. Let me know if any topic I missed. Okay. Views we discussed. Views is nothing but a virtual table which hold the query, but it don't hold the data. Table holds the data, but view does not hold the data. Whenever you execute a view, it is going to call the table and execute. Provided this is a pre-compiled code. Till now, what we discussed are the inline queries. The queries which we write on the line, and every time we execute, it is going to compile your query for errors and then execute the query for output. So every time we execute, it is going to get compiled. So this compilation time, till now we have written smaller queries or shorter queries or simple queries. But when you go to real time, you are going to have a challenges where your queries may cross 20 lines, 30 lines, your queries itself. Okay, maybe select statement, but joins itself cross 6, 7 lines or 8 lines or 10 lines sometimes. Okay, so your queries are huge and the data is also huge. There is chance that it will take some time to compile every time you execute. So every time we execute, it is taking compilation time, which is not necessary. To overcome that, we are going to save this query in a view so that whenever we get the call the view, it is not going to compile, it just execute where your time is saved, compilation time is saved. Okay. And these views go and sit in the server, how the tables are sitting in the server. Okay, so some view returns the table, right? So same like as view returns the table, you can apply where conditions, you can apply group by, you can apply having, you can use these views within joins also because it is a virtual table. It is going to return as a table. You can even use the views in your joins. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you happy to have this review or what is that? Refreshment of all the topics?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That's
sir.
difference a lot, yeah.
Okay. Then next, we started with programming constructs. So we spent enough time on doing the learning these programming concepts or programming concepts like uh, what are variables, declaring variables, assigning values to variables, reading the data from variables, okay, and manipulating these variables by passing the output of the table to these variables or column to these variables. And then we have seen while loop, how this while loop works. We have seen multiple examples like initialization, condition, incrementation. These are the three things which are involved. While loop will have a condition. Before condition, we should have an initialization of the value. And within the while loop, we'll have the incrementation of the value so that the loop continues till that condition meets. And we have seen several examples. And we have written scripts also. And then we learned if condition, which is going to check if condition is true, go for this, else go for this. Else if also we have seen if condition, go for that, if it works, else if, go for that, else if, and then else. And then we have seen the case statement. Same if statement works on, it's a condition, under the condition you are going to write the statements, whereas case statement is within the select statement. So within the select statement itself, we are having a case condition. So this is case when condition, then so and so, case when condition, so and so, when condition, so and so, else what to be displayed. If all the conditions are not met, what to be displayed, end. This is going to be as a column. This is called as column level condition. Column level condition we created within the select statement. Okay. Are you clear about case condition, case statement? After this case statement, we have seen cast convert functions. Cast convert functions are used to convert the data type to other data type, given data type to other data type. We have seen again few examples how cast works, how convert works, and convert is mostly used for the date time data types, and we have seen the styles from 102 to 108 and 122 to 130, I guess. So we have seen the styles, what styles we can use for displaying the date time after converting your data type. Okay. Then we started with procedures. So we used procedures, we created the procedures, we altered the procedures, we can even drop the procedures. Drop procedure name, that's all. If you want to delete a procedure, drop procedure name. Even functions are the same. Drop function name. No need to give any input parameters. Just drop function name. So what to say? Yeah, procedures. We have seen procedures with input parameters, without input parameters, with input parameters and output parameters. We have seen many procedures. You name it. We have. I am sure that we have covered more than 25 stored procedures or close to 30 stored procedures, including sessions as well as exams. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We started querying not only the data which I gave, we started querying the data from AdventureWorks data warehouse, joining multiple tables. We developed the stored procedures. We passed the inputs. And some examples I shown you how to achieve with the help of joins, how to achieve the same output with subqueries, both ways possible. We have spent a lot of time on stored procedures, and I feel you are confident on stored procedures. Maybe you write queries slow, but you are confident on stored procedures. That's what I believe. I don't know how much you are confident, but I believe you have good knowledge on procedures. Then we stepped into user-defined functions. User-defined functions, there are which again stores query, and it stores only it again stores the select statement only, whereas procedures can have DML statements, DDL statements, anything you can write in procedures. Whereas in functions, we can write only select statement. Whereas in view, we can write only select statement. But functions can take the select input parameters, and every function has to return a output. That is, return statement is compulsory in user-defined functions. So user-defined functions are classified into three types. One is scalar user-defined function, next is inline user-defined function, and last is multi-statement table value user-defined function. So first one is scalar user-defined function, which returns a single value as an output. So we have to return a single value, ensure that we are returning the data type in the starting, returns data type, and within the function, we have to store the output in a variable and return that variable. Whereas inline user-defined function, the name only says inline. It is a inline statement. It will take only inline statement within it. So return of your inline statement will be there. You cannot write any programming here. You can write only select statement. You cannot write programming. You can write a select statement. You can write a select statement with case conditions. You can write a select statement with joins. All this okay, but you cannot do any programming there. Then multi-statement table value user-defined function. This name only says multi-statements. It will have multiple statements, table values. So it is going to return a table output, user-defined function. Multi-statement, table value, user-defined function. Okay. So here you can write programming and you can return a table as an output. For this, we have to know what are table variables. Why? Because to return a table, we have to store the data in a table. But this is not good if you have huge volume of data. If you are playing with huge volume of data, this is not good. Why? Because this is a table variable. This is just a table variable. Variable, how much data it can store. The variable sits in the memory, not in the server or not in your database. As this variable sits in the memory, you cannot load the table variable with lot of data. Okay. So if you load the data, then your performance of the system will go down. Sometimes it may get stuck. So we should choose really, is it useful, where it is useful, how it is useful, and then do. If we cannot use it properly, like we cannot accommodate this output in user-defined function, alternative is stored procedures. We can write select statement in stored procedure. We can store the data in stored procedure. What you can do, you can create a table and load the data and use that table. Not the table is only purpose to store the data and return, like how you are using table variables. Okay, or in stored procedures, you can directly return the select statement. I mean, directly give the output of a select statement. No need to store in a table variable or tables. Whereas in user-defined function, return is compulsory. Though you do a lot of programming, at the end we have to load the data to table variable. Whereas in stored procedure, though you write a lot of code, at the end you can write a select statement to return the output. No need to store into a table variable. So if your query is becoming complex, your requirements are complex, which you cannot accommodate in function, or you can accommodate in function, but it is taking a lot of time to execute, don't use it, use stored procedures. Stored procedures are the universal solution for any problems. Okay. Hope you are clear till now.
Sir, can there's a difference between user-defined function and UDF and the
Is it different function and
that's the last one I forgot.
procedures?
Procedure, yeah. Stored procedure, yeah.
Stored procedures takes input parameters or gives output parameters. Stored procedures is a pre-compiled code, whereas user-defined is also pre-compiled code. Stored procedures, within stored procedure, you can write any DML statement, DDL statement, DQL statement. Means you can write insert, update, delete, truncate. You can write create, alter, drop. You can write select statements. Okay, within stored procedures. Whereas in functions, only select statement you can use. You cannot write create, alter, drop, insert, update, delete. You cannot write within stored procedures. You can write insert statement, that too only to a table variable. Okay, table variable you are inserting. You can write, but you cannot do all these manipulations within the stored procedures. Sorry, within the functions. I'm sorry. Got it? Everything is possible in stored procedures, not in user-defined functions.
Okay, sir.
And return is compulsory in user-defined functions, whereas return is not required in the stored procedures. Okay. Questions, please. All of you could follow what I told till now. It's a recap of all our sessions.
Yes, sir. Everything sounds very familiar.
Everything, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Who could not follow?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone let me know if you could not follow. Prashant, you want to say something?
I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to ask you about the output parameters long time back, but I
Yes,
forgot.
please.
So it's a long overdue. Can you please explain me like when and then how we use output parameters?
Output parameters are not required. Okay.
Okay.
Output parameters is the way how a individual, how a programmer use it. So if I want to, like how we have used a return statement in scalar function, we store the value into a variable and then return the variable, correct? So even output parameters in stored procedure should be going the same way, where we have to store the value in output parameter and print that value or return that value in the procedure. Okay. Output parameter is not ideally required. We can achieve the output without output parameter also. Okay.
Okay.
Optional. Okay. Any other questions?
So as a SQL developer, say, so we don't use output parameters that often.
We can see, I don't say we don't use, we can use. Okay, it's up to the programmer. Some programmers are comfortable, they use it. Some programmers are not. I feel that it is not required. I can achieve without
Okay.
that.
Okay.
That is there. You have to know. That's why I explained. I have given example also. So you have to know. Okay. Suddenly, if in interview, does procedures take output parameters?
Mhm.
How do you declare output parameter? in a procedure. If they ask, we should feel like we know it. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
That's the additional keyword output we are going to mention for the output parameter. Okay. So till now you are good.
Question: what is the word difference between view and common?
View and
Common?
common.
What is
Yeah.
common?
View, I know. What is that? Next one, common you asked.
Mm-hmm.
Common is an object, no, right? See, view is an object. Object means which sits in the server. This is Object Explorer. View is an object. What is common? Common is not even a keyword. See, view is a keyword. You can see it. What is common? Common is not at all a keyword. If you see here, table is a keyword, blue color. View is a keyword, blue color. Procedure is a keyword, blue color.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking you. Somebody asked me, so that's why I'm asking you.
There. That's index. So these are all the objects which are sitting in the database. Okay. Whereas if it is if it is not a keyword, it won't show in the blue color. Where and okay, and is a gray color. Okay, it's a different keyword.
I think same is common table operations, CT.
I'm just giving you for a glance, okay, so that
I just Google and then it says common usually refers to a common table expression, CTE.
Yeah, I mean that CT.
CT is a different concept. I'll explain you at the end. Okay.
Okay.
It's like a temporary table. I'll explain you.
Okay.
So I think I have covered most of the things.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are all the keywords we use day to day. We will be discussing about transactions. Just before that, there is a small topic that is temporary tables. So we have seen table variables, but this is temporary tables. What is table variables? Table variables is a variable of type table, and we are going to store the data in table variables, and it is temporarily till the table executes, till the query executes or till the script executes the life of the table variable. After that, there won't be any life for the table variable. You know it, right? Scope. Instead of saying life, we say scope of the table variable. You know it, right? No? Yes.
No, sir.
No,
Scope
sir.
of a table variable, do you know? Okay. What is the scope of a variable? What is the scope of a
Yeah,
variable?
variable works just within the session.
Not within the session. Within the till it gets executed, it is there. That's all. After that, it won't be there.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Session means this is the window. Okay, this is the
Oh,
session.
right.
So till it gets disconnected, I'm sorry. Till it gets disconnected, that will be there. Now it got disconnected. You can see disconnected, no database details. Whenever you say connect, I'm connecting to the server. You can see this is connected to server. This is a server name. This is the this is a server name. This is a server name under username. This is a database you are pointing to. So I'll be pointing to our Zorba database. Okay. Now the scope of table variable is not till the session. The scope of table variable is till it gets executed. You're getting me?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Till it is executing, it is alive. After execution, it is gone. Got it?
The scope basically means lifetime. of the variable.
Lifetime. That's why I gave life. But in technical words, we call it a scope.
We call it
Scope
scope,
of a
okay.
variable. Scope of a variable. So I'll declare this. What is the value of variable? 10. Now I'm saying, can you get the 10? No, because X is not there. Till it is executed, it is alive. The scope is there. Once done, it is not there. Now I'm selecting both and executing. The scope of variable is there. The scope of variable is getting value as 10 and is going to print also 10. Why? Because it's the same execution span. So scope of variable was live and it's gone. Now if I again say print 10 and print X, it will say sorry. Agree?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Everyone clear?
Yep.
That is called as a scope of a variable. Whenever we say this is a scope of a variable, same applies to table variable also. It's also a variable, that's all. It's a two-dimensional variable, but this is single value variable. Okay? I'm not getting response.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supriya clear?
Yes, sir.
Supriya,
Yeah.
Paja,
Yeah.
Suraj, Sandeep, Sudeep. Next, who is
Yes,
there?
sir.
Yes, sir, clear.
You.
Yes, sir.
All are getting sleep? Yes. Okay. Let me move on. Temporary tables. So temporary tables are tables which are used to store the data temporarily. Okay. So there are two types of tables. One is global temporary tables and local temporary tables. What are global temporary tables? The temporary tables which can be which have a scope across a server, which has scope across server across any connection. Whereas local temporary table has only in this window, in this query window, and the scope of this temporary table is till the connection is alive. Minute. Okay. Scope of the temporary table is till this connection is alive. Now see, global temporary. This will be interesting. See, global temporary table. So this is declared with double hash. Create table, double hash, emp, double hash I have created, employee ID integer, employee name varchar. Insert into hash emp. Values of 1, comma. See it? Now, select start from So this is the output. Now what I said, scope of global temp tables is across the server till main session is open. Session is connected. So this is the main session. It's working here. Now I take this, I open a new window, I take it here and execute. I'm getting the output. I take any window. So I'm taking into a new window pointing to a different database. Got it? Means across server this is accessible. You are clear, right?
Yes.
Everyone
Yes,
clear?
sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So across server you are able to access. Across any database you can point, this is accessible. Okay.
That
This
double
global
S table name is for the global server.
Hmm?
That's indicate the double S table name. That's for the all server.
Yes, double hash says that this is a global temporary table which can be accessible globe. Globe means across the server
Yeah.
under any
Thank you, sir.
database.
So, sir, we
And
need
this
to.
is alive till this connection is available. Now this connection, let's see again. It's working here. Now this connection, I'm disconnecting. Now I'll go and try to execute. It is gone. Yes, Alisha, you're asking something.
Sir, do you need to keep double hash every time for the global server?
Yes, global table variables, we have to use double hash. But do we use this? No. Okay, we can use it, no restrictions, but we don't use it. We have other one called as local temporary table. Local temporary table means which has scope till this connection only, not the other connection. Okay, so I'm going to create a similar table with single hash. Single hash is local temporary table. So I created the table. Now I'm executing this. It is working. I'm going to the other connection and I'm executing this. It says, what is this table? I don't know. Under the same database. Again, not under this other database. Under the same database. This is not, this is local connection, local table, temporary table, local temporary table. Okay. You can have primary keys. You can have relationship also. But we don't create the relationships. We don't create primary keys provided the scope is still this connection is alive. Again, it will go. Why to create a relationship, keep all the constraints? We don't do it. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
What is the alternate solution, sir? This is going to get every time we create it, and it is going to, and if you are writing a procedure, let's say you are creating a procedure, and within the procedure, if you are doing this logic, you are creating a temporary table, create table hash, and using this, okay, ensure that at the end of the procedure, okay, before end of the procedure, you are going to drop this table. Why? Because this is going to take a memory. So it's a best practice to drop the table at the end, either it is a global temporary table, as a global table variable or a local table variable, whatever you use. It is always suggested, it's always a best practice to drop the table which is not required at the end. Okay. What I do is, I don't use this. Why? Because in this procedure, every time I have to create, do this, do this. Instead of this, I'll create a temporary table directly. Like, I'll create a table which will sit in my database. So instead of this, I'll create a table like this. It's like normal table, but I'll just name it as temp underscore. So that it will say this is a table which is used for temporary, not used for perm. So what I'll do in this procedure, this table is already there, right? What I'll do, instead of doing all this logic, I'll say truncate table this, insert into this. No need to drop. Why? Because this is going to hit on the performance. This is going to hit badly on the server if this table where temporary table is open, because this temporary table sits in the memory, not on the server. Now this one sits in the database. So you can have lot of data, no problem. But this, if you have lot of data is there, it is going to hit on your memory. Memory means your server memory. Then there is a problem of your server performance. It may go down, it may get into stuck mode where it will not work at all. So at that time we have to restart. When we restart, this will get killed automatically. To avoid all this, what I use as a best practice is create a temporary table which will sit in the database. I use this. One moment. You got it right? Please recap whatever I told.
You said that if we create the temporary table, it's gonna sit on the database until the
Yeah.
until the system on,
You
or
did
it's gonna.
So we have to drop the database. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tell me what is the question?
I said that you said we create the table and it's gonna stay on the database.
Correct. Whatever the temp table we create, it is going to sit in the database.
Oh, it's not gonna, because it's temp. That's why it's not gonna out.
It's not hash. It's not hash table, right? It's a
Oh,
normal
hash table
table.
only. Yeah. Okay.
Hash table one is a temporary table which will take the memory, which will kill the memory, which will create a problem if we have a lot of data. Where this is a temp table, this is a normal table. We call it as a staging table, which we truncate and load every time. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
let it be let it have a lot of data. It will sit in the database. It is not going to sit in the memory of the server. So it won't hit any deadlock issues. Got it?
Okay. Got it.
Are you clear, everyone? If we use with the high volume loads, if you have high volume data, go with stage tables, we call. Go with the naming convention so that you can easily remember. Okay. Clear about temporary tables?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just to make it clear, the temp
Yeah.
table, the temp table is not the actual temporary table, right? That's just a normal table, but you use it as a temporary table.
Correct. It's a normal table. I just named as a temp or STG. See, you can use temp table, temp like this, or
So
STG,
yeah, okay,
staging
good.
table.
But what makes it like a temp table then? Do you have any logic there
See,
to make it temp table?
yeah. See, they were using very big query. Okay.
Mhm.
They were using CTs. Okay. I'll tell you this. They were using almost 12 CTs.
Mhm.
On top of CTs, they are writing select statement. Okay. They are joining with city. They are getting data from city. Where does city sit? Common table expression sit.
Yeah,
CT is table variables or variables, temporary tables. All this sit in the memory, server memory. So server memory, where is it? You cannot see it. It is behind that. It is the system machine memory. Okay.
right.
Cache memory or buffer memory we call. When it was sitting, just imagine. Hope the topic is interesting. I'm not boring you. So let's say this is your server memory. This is your server memory. So because of regular activities, your server memory is taken this much of size. Okay, it is one. This much is used for your regular activities. Regular activities like using your softwares, Word document, everything, all browsers, everything. It requires some memory, right? It is using this much memory. So this much memory is free. When I execute my query, what it will do is, it is going to start using the memory slowly. It will start using the server memory, start using the server memory, start using the server memory. So at some time, it will take all the server memory, or it will leave only some memory and it will take all the server memory. So when it will take all the server memory, what happens? Your system becomes slow. You will not get any response. It keeps on executing. And whatever the left out memory, it is not helpful for it. Whatever the left out memory is there, right? It is not going to help for it to complete its task. You're getting me?
Yeah.
Whatever the left out memory is there, this red color, that corner red color, it is not helpful for that to complete the task. What happens? It will end up in server stuck, or it will not respond basically. So at the time, what you need to do, either you have to restart your server, and whatever the time you spend on executing the task is gone. Got it?
Mhm.
Because you are using table variables or temporary tables. Now the same scenario, you have yellow is the occupied, red is the available. I am not using the table variable. I am not using the temporary table. I'm not using the CTE also. Okay. I'll use the original table, original database. So original tables, it will take the data, it will make it sit in the database. Whenever I execute, it will talk to the database and get the data. Select statement also takes the memory. Select statement also takes the memory from the system, but it is not full. It will take almost this much. Okay. Approximately, I'm saying it will take this much because the data is sitting in the tables. It is not going to disturb the buffer memory. So this much is used for your query. There is lot of server memory. You will get the response quickly. Okay. So there were 12 CTEs which were available, which were given by a onshore guy. He is also technically strong, retired resource. Okay. He has given, and developers were using the same, and then on top of it, they have written a lot of queries. I told it 4K plus 4K plus lines of code, literally. So I have taken this, converted into a table.
Okay.
And I have created two procedures. One is called as pre-procedure, that is called as pre-exposure, we call it. It's an exposure, an exposure entity, pre-exposure and actual exposure. So it is like create procedure, pre-exposure, create load exposure. So here, this is having actual logic to get the output. Okay, here the logic is there, which is before this output. That is 12 cities. I didn't write the cities. Cities will be like this with city as, okay. We write the select statement here. This select statement is also very used joining multiple tables and where conditions. So whenever I execute this, we have to write select statement of it. Select start from CTE, C, join with, again, lot of joins were there. Just a moment. So this sits in the memory. And from the memory, I'm reading. It is not only occupying the memory, again, I'm reading from the memory. Hey, what is there? Get it. Okay. And this again, having CTE1, join with CTE1, CTE, join with CTE1, and join other tables. So not only reading once, it's in the memory, not only reading once. It's in the memory. These also added to the memory, again reading. So like this 12, how much memory it will take? You got it? You get it?
Yep, yep.
It takes 8 hours, literally 8 hours plus it was taking to complete that. Okay.
Mhm.
Then what we did, that was my idea, okay, because I know this from my previous experiences. No one was looking at it. So then what I did, I have taken this city, I have taken this table. This is a select statement. Let's say a simple select statement. I write select start from MPE join with DPTD on E dot DID is equal to E dot DID. So this is select statement. So this is sitting in the city, right? I have taken this. I commented this. I have taken the logic. I commented this. I created a pre. This was everything in the one procedure. Okay. I separated this and what I did, select star into from. So this data will go and sit into a stage underscore exposure underscore 1. This is a first table. Staging means temporary. Okay. So I just created it. What I did, this select star into every time we cannot do, right? So for the structure sake, I created it. Then what I did, insert into this from this. Before this, truncate table. So for 12 cities like this, I created 12 tables. 12 tables straight. It will sit in the table memory. I mean, that sits in the database, not in the memory. So every time, whenever I execute this procedure, pre-exposure, it is going to truncate the existing table, load the data to the existing table. At the end, there are 12 cities, 12 tables, right? For the 12 tables, what are the columns we are using here in the main procedure? The major columns which we are using, right, in the select statement are conditions, either in the select statement or in the where conditions or in the joins. What columns are used? I created indexes on top of those columns. So with this, what happens? First thing is you are getting this data and sitting in your database. So there is no hit on the server memory. Second thing is like this 12 tables. Second thing is I'm creating indexes on the most used columns so that the data is sorted already and kept it ready for you to use it. The index is just going to sort the data. Okay. Sort the data and easily give the data whenever you ask it. Let's say A to Z are there. A to Z are in zigzag way. If I ask you where is M, if it is in zigzag, you will take a moment to see and find M and give me. Correct? If it is in a sequential order, you can give me fastly. Correct? Sir, no?
Yes.
So I'll tell about indexes. This is a very simple example. I'll tell about indexes, what is behind index, how it works. So I have did this 12 tables and indexes. Later, I changed it wherever CTE1 is there. Okay, CTE1, CTE2, let's say. Where CTE1 is there, I made it as stage 1. That is stage 1 exposure. Whereas CTE2 is this stage 2 exposure. That's the entity name only. Like that, I implemented for all the queries. 4,000 lines code, I brought around 1,000 lines to here and rest here. And in this, I'm using the existing tables. So there is no again hit on the memory. There is nowhere you are hitting the memory except the select statement, this select statement. Okay. Wherever we are joining it, this select statement only is going to hit the memory. Rest are all coming and sitting in the database, that too, which is sorted properly. So this procedure now I execute. This procedure will not take much time. Why? Because it is not getting the data. It is just inserting data, truncate insert. It will take very fast. It will take again 30 seconds or less than that. And the actual procedure, this will take less than 10 seconds to execute. So this way we resolve the problem. So they were very happy. And for this table alone, the load used to take 10 hours. After resolving this, it came to 1 hour. and later we did additional things. This is one of the major achievements with respect to
Yeah.
performance. Okay. So again, the story behind why I'm all telling is the advantage of normal tables than the temporary tables or the table variables or even CTEs which you are looking forward to learn. Okay. All are very interested in learning CTE because this topic came almost 3 times in our discussions. I don't use CTEs personally. Even in the current project, temporary tables memory is allocated in TempDB database. So from where this memory is given is TempDB database gives the memory. TempDB database gives the memory for table variables as well as temporary tables both. Okay.
Mhm.
There are 2 types, as I told you, local temporary tables, global temporary tables. Local temporary tables will have a single hash. Global temporary tables will have double hash. Okay. So this is accessed across any connections, across any database. Temporary tables exist until we close the connection. That's the scope. Temporary tables can maintain relationships, but we don't give. We can maintain primary key, we can maintain foreign key also. Global temporary tables, if you are creating this in one connection, same example, okay, it can be used across multiple connection, across any database. I have shown you, correct?
Yeah.
This global temporary table is accessible across all the connections, even under any database, but should be under the same server. Okay. Of course, I have only one server, that is easy. Local temp. Is it to me?
I don't know. Some feedback, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. So local temporary tables where it will have a single hash and it can be executed only in that particular connection. It cannot be accessed across other connections. This is not accessible in connection 2. So this one, connection 2. This is another example. So you can maintain a relationship also, or you can maintain primary key, foreign key also. So you can maintain foreign key also. That's what this example says, but not required. Scope of both global and temporary tables works only till the query window, the connection is available where the temporary tables are created is open. Clear?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Transaction is a logical unit of work. Logical unit of work which contains set of operations. It's a unit of work with set of operations. It's called as transactions. Every transaction RDBMS follows asset properties. Any software it could be. When it is a asset, when it is a RDBMS, it has to follow asset properties. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. These are the properties. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. Okay. What is atomicity says? This guarantees that transaction committed only if all operations are successful. Till now, whatever we are doing are directly committing the data. So insert into we write. Whenever we execute, it is executed successfully means the data got inserted to the table. Update, it is successful means data got updated to the table. Same delete. Also, if you are deleting and it is successful means data got deleted from the table. So these are all the operations which are getting committed. Committed means saved. Okay. Which are getting committed automatically to the database. Okay. But once this is also transactions. Okay. These transactions are handled internally within SQL Server. It means that if any error is there, SQL Server verifying and throwing that error, and we are going to work on it and fix it and then execute. And it is immediately saving. Why? Because SQL Server is taking care of committing it to the database. Because everything is good, let me save it to the database. SQL Server internally taking care of these transactions to get commit or to get committed to the particular table. Are you clear? Internally, these asset properties are followed. though we don't know till now. But now we are going to handle. Okay. Whenever we say atomicity means small, right, small tasks, which guarantees that transaction is committed only if all the operations are successful. All the operations means all the atoms, all the small operations are successful. All our forward is successful, then only it will save. Let's say I'm inserting 10 records, insert into, like that 10 times I have written. 6th record got failed. So 5 records got inserted? No. It will not insert the 5 records, it will get back to the original state. Because one of the operations failed and all your operations are failed. That's what it says. All the operations are successful, then only it gets saved to the database. Okay. Transaction rollback. If any operation is failed, rollback operation happens. Rollback means going to the previous position. Got it? Next, consistency. Consistency, the name only says it should be consistent. We keep hearing it. Consistency is nothing but providing correct data to the transaction. Ensure that we are giving correct data to the transaction, else it is going to fail. This can be implemented with the help of locking. There are multiple locks: database level lock, table level lock, page level lock, row level lock. I will not explain this today. We'll go tomorrow. Okay. Isolation. I'll again explain this, but I'm just trying to cover a point. Isolation. One transaction failure should not affect the other transaction in the system. So you have transaction 1, insert 10 records. Other transaction, update records. Okay. So one transaction should not fail because of other transaction failure. Isolation means be independent. Okay. Each transaction should be independent of other transactions. That is what isolation means. Next is durability. Whatever transactions we are doing guarantees that the result will be committed. Committed means saved to the system. That is durable. Once it is saved to the database, it is saved. That's all, right? It is not in the air. Okay, committed means result is permanent in the table. That is durability. Rollback means it is going to go back to the previous state. Okay, so we'll discuss about this tomorrow, asset properties, and we'll discuss about what are the different types of transactions. Till now we are doing this transaction. We'll start doing this transaction. How to write transactions, what is rollback, what is commit, okay, what is save, all those things we are going to discuss, and we'll see one example using a stored procedure. I'll try to get even a couple of examples for you. Let's see. Are we good for today?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
everyone.
sir.
Again, please go
Thank
through
you.
your notes, prepare procedures, user-defined functions, do it on daily basis.